Hey guys, my name's Kyle Wright and I'm your smart home butler. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how to use multiple Wyze Cams in the Wyze app. So here on the home screen, you can see my 3 cameras that I have in my house. I have my kitchen camera, my living room camera, and my son's room. We use all 3 of these cameras for security reasons. The kitchen, I have both my garage door and my front door that I can get. And then with my living room camera, I am getting my back door in case anybody tries to break into my home that way, as well as the hallway. And then we use this camera to monitor my son when he sleeps at night. So here we have the feed of my son's room. You can play the sound that is being picked up by the speaker. So I'll turn that on real quick. You can hear that is a noisemaker that we have in my son's room playing there in the background. Just to kind of give y'all an idea of the sound, as well as you can record any amount of time. If you're wanting to record anything, you can see that it's recording there, so I can stop that recording, as well as I can speak. If I press and hold the speak button, it'll bring up this little waveform and I can talk to whoever's in that room and they can actually have a conversation with me. And once I let go, it's automatically going to turn the sound on so I can hear their response, which is a really cool feature. We can also take a photo here, so that saves the album. I'll show you the album here in a moment. As well as if I hit more here, we can do the motion tagging. So if we select motion tagging, it will select anything that moves on the camera with a little green box. Unfortunately, there's nothing moving in there right now. If we go into album, I can see all of the videos that I have recorded on this camera, as well as any photos I've taken. So this is the photo that I just took a moment ago. I can zoom in, do whatever I need to do. I can share photos using the app. I can also delete if I need to. Same thing goes with videos. I can select a video here. This is one of the videos that I did just a few minutes ago. I can turn the audio on or off, as well as share and delete. Just the same thing as you would do with photos. Also, time-lapse feature. This is a really cool feature that I like. You can select a start time and an end time, as well as your interval for recording. So if you want to record for 3 seconds, 3 minutes, hours, days, this is how often it's going to take a photo. So if you wanted to do a full month and take one photo every day at, say, sunset, then you could set it up to do it that way. You can push it forward as far as you want, set whatever time lapse you want, and then you could have a picture of the sunset for 30 days. However you want to do that, you have that option. Up here in the top left, we have the little SD option that will allow us to select HD, SD, or 360p. Depending on your Wi-Fi, you may need to use a lower resolution. You also have the ability to turn off and on the camera. So by hitting that turn off, it does turn that camera off. If I hit the power button again, it will reactivate that camera. It does take a couple of seconds for the camera to reinitiate the feed, but that is an option. So if you do have a micro SD card installed in your Wyze Cam, you can use the playback feature. Here you would just hit view playback and it brings up this little timeline, and we can use this timeline to go back to any time. So I can go back, maybe I want to go back to, last night when my son was sleeping. I could watch him sleeping there. He's kind of tossing and turning, doing his own little thing. But you are able to use the playback feature With the HD setting on, you get 2 days of recording with a 32 gigabit micro SD. If you're using standard definition, you can get about 7 to 8 days. That's what Wyze says on their website. So that's just to give you an idea of how much storage you have. Whenever your card fills up, it will start to overwrite the oldest content, so you don't have to worry about the card getting full or anything like that. When you're in here, playing and say you want to get a clip of something, you can take a photo. You can also record from the playback, which is really awesome. So if there, something crazy happened and you need to get a clip of that, you can go back to that time and record it here. Also note that in the bottom right hand corner of the feed, there is the date and time, so you can see when that particular footage was taken, which is a really nice feature that you can turn off and on. If you want to go back to the live feed, then just say see live feed, and it'll take us back to the live feed on the camera. I'm going to go back into the album real quick just to show y'all that y'all can see here. This was the video that I clipped out of that little playback, so y'all can check that out here. I'm also going to show y'all some of the settings. I will say on our kitchen camera, for instance, right now I do not have a micro SD card in that camera. So if I did try to hit view playback, it will tell me no micro SD card is installed in the camera. And this is just going to be a live feed until I get a micro SD card to put in there. Wanted to show some settings to you guys. So event recording on the Wyze Cam is really awesome. You can schedule when the recording happens. I have all my cameras set to all day because I don't really mind. But say you only want the cameras to run when you're at work, then you could say, okay, starting at 7 a.m. and I want it to go off at 5 p.m. or 5:30. Whenever you get home, you can do that, and it won't event record during that time. You can also detect motion and detect sound. I do have these turned off just because as frequently as we move around the house, I would be getting notifications on my camera all day long. But I will turn the motion on for these cameras. I did just install them. And so for notifications, you can do the same thing. I don't want to hear for motion or sound. I just want to know if there's a person that's detected. And so that will now send notifications to me, as well as I can set the sensitivity levels for both the motion detection and the sound detection, which I'm going to be playing with that because we do have 2 cats in the home, and I don't want the motion to be triggered every time the cats walk by. So I will be playing kind of with this feature, as well as there are detection zones, and so you can set little windows, and that will trigger if someone walks, say, in this space. This is the front door and the laundry room. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that. Then that way it will only alert me of motion when it's inside that square. So that's really nice. Alarm setting. These do come with smoke alarm and CO alarms inside the camera, so it can give off an alert if necessary. I don't really need that feature because I have smoke detectors in my home and I don't have any natural gas, so I don't have to worry about CO getting released into my home. So that's not a concern for me, but some people that might be helpful. Here on the advanced setting, you can turn night vision off and on. You saw that kind of earlier in some of the footage. I just have it on auto. When it detects low light, it'll automatically turn that on. You also do have the ability to toggle the night vision infrared lights. So if, say for instance, you're pointing the camera through a pane of glass, obviously infrared is not going to work very well in that scenario. So you do have the ability to toggle that off, as well as every camera has a little blue status light on it. You can turn on or off that status light, as well as you can rotate the image 180 degrees. So let's say you have to hang the camera upside down for some reason, you are able to flip the image. You can also remove the timestamp watermark in the bottom right hand corner, and you can remove the Wyze logo. I haven't really messed with these settings because it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just using this for personal use. You can also turn off whether or not it's recording sound. So if you don't, want the cameras to be picking up conversations that you're having in your home, then it will give you the option to turn off the sound there, as well as there is a sync time option. And so that is going to make sure that the camera is synced up with the international clock to make sure that you are up to date there. So that is all of the advanced settings. You do have the ability to share any camera, individual cameras. You don't have to share all your cameras, but say you do go out of town and you want to share your kitchen camera feed with the person that is dog sitting for you so that they can, check in on the dog or anything like that. You are able to send individual cameras to other people. They would just need to download the Wyze app and create an account, and you would send them that camera via their email address. So that is another option. You have some basic, MAC address activation information for the camera here, as well as you have the ability to check for updates. And so you can restart a device here. Say you're having issues with it, they do give you the option to restart. You also can rename the camera as well, if that is something that you're interested in. You do have the ability to turn the notifications on and off here in the top right hand corner, as well as if you hit these three dots, this is how you add a product. You can make groups for your products. So say you have multiple cameras. Say I wanted to have a WYZE Cam camera group, and I can say, security, and then I can say I want these two to be in that group. I can hit save. Now it's gonna put those two cameras into their own little security feed, and then I'm able to watch both of those feeds live. And so you can get multiple feeds on, a screen if you're trying to watch multiple rooms. It comes really in handy if you're trying to use security. You can also add shortcuts. I haven't used this feature much. You would add a name of the shortcut, create what you would want the icon to look like. It looks like there's I'm home, I'm away, go to bed, wake up, and then just a little star. You can name it whatever you want, and then there's a few different actions. You can mute, unmute notifications, as well as for individual cameras, you can turn on motion detection, turn off. Turn on, turn off cameras, upload a short video to the cloud, turn on notifications, things like that. So there's just kind of a list of things you can do, and you can do the same thing with security groups. So definitely check that out. So anyways, that was the review for the WYZE Cam app using multiple WYZE Cams. I hope you've enjoyed this content. If you did, take a minute to subscribe to our channel. Click the bell so you can get future video updates from us as we release more smart home content, and hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks and have a great day.